well, is everyone back?
Here, hi.
Hello.
Yep. Poppy Poopy present.
And Net Ranger is here.
Well, let's set the scene.
Yes, sir.
You guys are piled into Razzle's car,
Mhm.
and she is currently driving through Touristville.
Yep.
Heading north. Are you heading towards Glow City?
Yeah, I guess we'll start heading towards the location. I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Actually,
Wait, we're heading north from Touristville towards Glow City. Hold on.
No, Glow City's to the south.
Yeah, hold on.
So when I said Glow City, I may have been thinking of Crash because I was thinking of the section to the north, and not the section where the Crimson Crush is, right?
Yeah, we're going the crash zone with all their feudal lords and shit.
Oh, like out towards north of Rat's Nest and past the plastic jungles?
Yeah.
Perfect.
So my apologies to you all for getting that wrong.
No worries.
So you're heading north. It's now the evening time in Redmond, which means you're starting to get this light drizzle of acid rain.
Nice.
You know, and your car warns you that the chemical protection on your windshield is degrading at an increased rate.
That's fine. This is fine.
And would you like to make a navigation test? Because you
Sure.
were quickly leaving places where there are roads, right?
Yeah, I can navigate real good.
Wow, the graphics in this area are pretty realistic.
Poor Pape Poopy Bo, she has lost the plot.
So, all right, you head out, and with that navigation tech, you're basically able to avoid most of the squatters, you know, the scavengers, and so forth.
Mhm.
And this would allow you to avoid the sort of what I would call the Barons checkpoints.
Okay.
You know, which is where somebody has piled up a bunch of crap on the road, and then they kind of stand around there. And then when people drive up to them, they ask for a toll because they maintain this section of the road. And if you want to get by, you're going to have to pay the Violet Boys some money.
What a great job they do maintaining the roads.
Did you say
Yeah,
they're
right.
called the Violet, as in the Color Boys, or the Violent, as in bad attitude?
No, as in the color.
All right.
Although, strangely, their jackets are not actually violet. They're sort of this like green, splotchy pink.
So what I'm getting is these guys are posers.
Oh, also, did my gang get anything from the Op4? Were they a member of a gang?
Their pictures that they have on are not like that you're supplied with. They don't have any colors that they're wearing. They're wearing like black armored jackets. The orc has like gear rigging, and the troll had a big backpack with you recognize it as an ammo bag. So if they were part of a gang, they were not prominently displaying it. The territory that you're heading to is controlled by several different gangs.
All right, because I had 5 hits on gangs knowledge. I didn't know if that was going to give anything else.
The big ones in this territory are the Crazy Eyes and the Hidden Brains.
Crazy eyes. Their eyes be crazy.
And
Crazy
you
eyes and
know
what?
the Hidden Brains.
Okay.
The Crazy Eyes are rumored to have a mage or somebody who's awakened. The Hidden Brains are a Brain Eater affiliate gang. So they are a scavenger gang. Both groups have been fighting over this particular 6-block turf for about 6 months. Of late, the Hidden Brains have been coming out more on top, and that has to do with the fact that they're allied with a bigger, meaner gang, i.e. the Brain Eaters.
Oh, okay.
As it do.
So, yeah, if you have to get out and walk about, you might want to, pretend to be one of these hidden brains guys, just so you can blend in.
They'll probably know we're not one of them.
No,
And as you get closer, Razzle, you'll notice that a lot of the buildings here, it's a little less urban than the other parts of the Redmond Barrens. There's a greater amount of space in between the buildings. And as you drive past, once you're about a mile away, and you're getting closer, and you drive down the road, one of the buildings just collapse
Wow.
because it's been there for a while. And somebody shot a rocket into it last week during a gang fight, and finally the structural support has been worn off because it's been exposed to the acid rain.
Yep.
And so it just collapses as you go by. Apparently, the vibrations from your vehicle were enough to tip it over the edge. Your sensor in your car will report it picks up the cries of pain of the squatter community that was living in this building until it collapsed.
So one of the drawbacks of being a San Francisco-born Japanese man with an obsession with technology, NetRanger will take out his actual comlink. He has a Net Ninja, and he will record it as it happens with a very gawking, big-eyed, "Ooh, oh, the roof fell down."
Well, you'll see the exposed support beams from that building now that all the concrete has collapsed in. And there's quite a bit of dust that is raised quickly, but the rain quickly tamps it back down again. And you have olfactory sensors in your car, right? It reports a warning to you that there's a large amount of asbestos in the air, and you should not breathe without your respirator.
Okay. Raz will get the gas mask out because oh yeah, don't be wanting that done.
And what are you perceiving for, Poppy?
Anything on the matrix that may be either in the area or running silent. Running silent's the big one.
And Mr. GM, I had 5 hits specifically looking for any kind of weaponry or cyberware that is wireless active.
And you're going to do this when you get closer to the place?
Yeah, I'm doing it kind of on the way in there. Looking for a cyber deck or things running silent.
And I'm more paranoid about gangs. So for my cushy lifestyle, being in a place like this is kind of dirty and gross. So I'm kind of worried about, kidney thieving gangs, the kind that use big cyber arms that they probably don't even deserve. They deserve to live in meat bodies. That's kind of what I'm on the lookout for. That and smart links, because smart links hurt.
Every now and again, you spot a comm link. You see vending machines out here, very few and far between. But they have automated turrets on them, and people who bring recycled material can put it into the vending machine and get flats back out of them. However, these are all like automated, so they're wireless off. You occasionally see wireless pants, soy calf machines, food processors. You do spot some generators, like the kind of thing that during the day it might collect solar power, or water filtration systems. You don't see anything running silent as you're traveling along. And Razzle, give me a driving etiquette once you get close to this place. Like, how do you want to approach?
So we're just kind of driving to the area. The way it's kind of silly to say this, but you know how like Shadowrunners kind of blow through the area, not giving a crap, right? Because it's not doing the whole like. I know that's a terrible thing to say, but it's like not slowing down, not like we're looking at anything. We're just going past.
The Shadowrunner drive-by?
Not the Shadowrunner drive-by. The Shadowrunners driving through the Barrens going somewhere else. This is a nice car going through the Barrens. It's got all of its paint, all of its tires are inflated, right? Like everyone kind of knows what type of vehicle this is.
All right.
But like, at the same time trying to convey that idea of like we're just going past. Like this is not where we're stopping.
Okay, give me a driving etiquette for that.
Yep.
And anyone who would like to, give me a regular perception and or a matrix perception. The noise out here is 3.
I got 8 hits on matrix.
I don't.
I can keep all 6 of those hits. That's my mental limit.
5 hits on visual perception.
I really need to remember to do observe in detail more.
You see Poppy. She takes a game cartridge out of her bag and she blows on it like, and she slots it in. And you see a AR appear, and it looks like a radio signals appearing with the static disappearing as she loads signal scrub. And then she has another cartridge that she jams in there, and you see a fox dance around an AR, and it spins in a circle, and it loads browse. And then of course you get your ninja characters that jump around a little bit for that stealth.
Okay, and Razzle, you're going through pretty fast, right?
Yeah, we're not really slowing down here.
All right, so the first thing you notice is as you start driving through this 6 block area that was pointed out to you, is it at first appearance, it seems pretty empty. But then upon second appearance, you can tell that somebody's taken the time to put up defenses. There are buildings that used to be some kind of office park, like office buildings. They vary between 2 and 4 stories tall. And somebody has taken the time to collect rubble around them, making like a small palisade so that if you were to drive up to them, you wouldn't be able to ram the building or gain access to the front door. Like you couldn't just drive up to the front door.
And I'm sorry, is this one specific building or is this a general area that has all of this done?
No, it seems to be most of the buildings in the area. They're tagged both in AR and in meat space.
Did any of them have a deck in there?
I'll get to that. I'm going to give you physical stuff first. Crossfade would note that there are 2 buildings on either side that you might be able to drive through, but they have like chain link fences around them and then gates. Attached to the fences, they have all kinds of glass or pieces of scrap metal. One of the buildings is an old apartment building, and there's just trash piled in what used to be a pool. And it makes a big old huge mound of dirt, old things, just junk, right?
Uh-huh.
And when you guys drive by that, you can tell that there's some like little kid sorting through it and climbing around and pulling something apart. When you guys drive by, he drops down like he's hiding, and then he just sort of watches as your car goes by. You would also notice that there seemed to be some sort of drone flying high up in the air. You just catch a glimpse of it, little glint through the rain. You can also tell that some of these buildings have lookouts on the top of them, or outside of them. People that are just hanging out trying to look casual, but they're really just looking around and watching stuff. It looks like all of the buildings have some kind of reinforcement to their windows. Either like bars have been welded in, or black plastic has been pulled over them, or tarps. In some cases, the windows where there is still glass, it's been spray painted. Poppy, you can tell that there are icons around you. Not many. You do not see a cyber deck. There is something running silent as you drive through it, and you also spot an icon for a drone.
Did I get any questions for that silent device? There's a feeling I know what it is. I think it's an RCC, but if I have questions, I can ask it.
You do have questions.
All right.
You have one.
Ooh. Okay. Last command given.
Control device.
Okay, probably an RCC. And I'm going to keep that code. And do we have time as we're going by to do that again, or is that time passed?
No, because you guys were driving through pretty fast, right?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So I let the team know that there's a drone and an RCC, and I give we can't figure out physically where they are, right? But we can tell.
No, you'd need to get
around
Mars
the
in
area
to do the trace thing.
But we can like say it lit up in this area, so we know they're in a general area. We just don't know where they are.
And Net Ranger, you would also spot the same icons. And additionally, you'll note that there's more than one thing running silent. Both of you will.
Oh, what were the other things? I thought they were just one.
If I have any successes for questions, does anything that was running silent, do they have an attack rating?
No. I'm sorry. Yes.
Then, if possible, I would like to do a matrix perception on. Was it one thing had an attack rating, or were there multiple things with attack ratings that were running silent?
No, just one.
They were driving too fast to actually do it again, though.
Yeah, because you guys are blazing through this section, right? Not doing the slow.
Yeah, we're not slow rolling. We're blasting this one for the first pass, I believe.
Yeah, so it's about to be suspicious.
You can tell that there's been some kind of fighting around here. Some of the embankments are set up like kind of like machine gun nests, but there are no machine guns there. And it seems to be split based on the tags. It seems like the hidden brains have occupied about 3/4 of the 6-block radius, with the crazy eyes being in the last little quarter section. And then there's
And-
kind of a big like stretch of no man's land in between their two turfs, right?
And rolling for hideouts, does it look like any of these are fortified in the kind of we don't want to be found look, like that that stuck out to my character?
They mainly look like they're fortified to attempt to defend from other scavengers or gangers.
Like one place or multiple places?
Pretty much each building has that same kind of look.
Oh, okay. So we'll have to narrow it down the old-fashioned way, using the matrix.
Each block is dominated by one building, and then there are other smaller little buildings kind of that are still standing nestled around of it. One of those is an apartment building. One of them has been totally destroyed, and it's been replaced by a field. Currently over top of the field is a section of tarp protecting the whatever's growing there from getting rained on. They're stumpy and have long leaves and kind of a sickly brown color. You would see that some of the buildings have lights on the inside.
So, Mr. JM, if I wanted to use some of my vast knowledge skills to figure out which building seemed most likely to be holding a VIP target, I'm not sure the best ones to go with. I have security tactics with a spec in VIP, I have security design with a spec in corporate, and security procedures. Which one do you think would be most appropriate for me to roll if I was trying to guesstimate based on the defenses that we've seen and the side chatter we've had back and forth, would be the most likely or most defensible building?
Go with security tactics with your spec.
Okay. Oh my god, I finally got a good roll.
You feel like the apartment building would be. You know, it has a section where you can roll a gate, and it provides you know, like you could move a car in there. It looks like the bottom portions of the apartment building have been knocked down. Like you can see that there's some walls that are missing, and people have pulled tarps up. So if once you're past the gate, you could drive right into them. And the other option is if you were attacked, you could drive out the other side, drive out the opposite gate. You have good sight lines from that particular building.
Is that building tagged in AR? Is it the territory of either of the hidden brains or the other guys?
Yes, it is tagged
Crazy
by
eyes.
crazy eyes. And you see all these like wide eyes of different colors that have been spray painted on it.
Is the other building that could fit a car into it tagged by either gang?
There are some within the hidden brains turf that looks like it could be like you could drive a car in as well.
I'm gonna. Is it raining heavily, GM?
No, it's a light rain.
What penalty would I get for using my fly spy? Because I'm not the best with fly spies, but I can probably manage a little.
-2 to any of your perceptions.
What about the actual piloting?
Nothing. It's just a light rain. It's like a drizzle, right? It's really more of a mist.
Razzle's probably a better pilot than you, I have to guess. Pape Peep Peep.
Poppy poo pepe. She's gonna correct you. She says it's easy. You just say poppy poo, poppy poo pepe. It's like that. She's gonna take it out, and it looks like it's in one of those cassette boxes where you keep your video game cartridges. And she pops it open, and there's inside is a fly spy. Kantan desho. Jibun de tsukuru koto ga dekiru desu ka? She's like trying to ask if you can pilot it by yourself.
She's gonna shrug and say probably. Oh, she actually doesn't speak any Japanese. Never mind.
Oh, you told me she did.
I did tell you that, and I thought she did.
She
I
said it.
speak
She just handed
Japanese.
it to you. You're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry, she took beekeeping instead. It's an important
Okay,
knowledge skill.
Yeah. GM, a long time ago, when I made this character, it only had 4 sensors attached to it. is that correct for a sensor array? Because I think somebody may have missed that.
Should have.
No. Yeah, it
Should
should
have
have
eight. Yeah. What do you want me to do about that? Because it wasn't here where I did it. This was a ported character. Do I just have a funky fly spy that's a little messed up or what?
I would just fill it out.
Okay.
By default, every sensor array gets 8, so
Yeah, all right. So it's got laser microphone, atmospheric sensor, cameras, olfactory. I'm going to put radio signal scanner, ultrasound, atmospheric. No, it's got the atmospheric sensor. I'm going to put vision magnification on it. And fab sensors you have to be really close, right? We'll go
I
with that.
believe so.
We'll go with omnidirectional microphone then.
All right. 26
Go.
dice rolls later, you can take an additional 2 from a machine sprite doing diagnostics on the drone.
All right, so an extra 1.
No. And I'm going to have you pilot it. I'm going to wrapper that GM so that it looks like it's a soy joy wrapper that's just been blowing around in the rain.
Soy joy.
Soy joys are actually pretty good. They have blueberries and stuff.
I like them.
And also, I'm going to do my electronic warfare through it so that I can visually see as Basil's piloting.
Well, give me your sneaking with your pilot roll first to go get this guy in position.
All right, that's Razzle.
All right. We got a solid 9 for sneaking. Yeah, even if they see it, they still got to see through its realistic 3. So I'm fine with. Wait, that was piloting. That was not sneaking. Sorry.
And Net Ranger and Poppy, you guys are both running silent, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Would you give me 1 logic plus sleaze?
Yay.
And Renton, does this count for urban?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Sorry, yeah, that first one was pilot. The second one was sneaking.
Are you satisfied with both?
Yeah.
It's my logic plus sleaze. I'm going to stick with that.
Do you allow edge on the logic plus sleaze test, Mr. Worthington?
Yes, I do.
I don't know why I'm feeling really paranoid tonight, so I'm going to edge that.
Because you don't want someone tickling your brain, I got it.
For a total
I think
of
I'm actually
3
going to
hits.
expand into drones. Would be awesome if I can pilot my own drones.
That's actually the direction I planned on bringing Net Ranger, was pushing him into drones. And I realized after I had made the character that since piloting drones is based off your meat stats on the point, it was one of those like, oh god, I made an overweight asthmatic. Oh, this is going to take a lot of karma to do this. This is going to be fun.
Oh yeah, Poppy too. Poppy has like a reaction of 2 right now. That's augmented 1.
No, when you think drone pilot, you should think hammer now. Yeah, for sure.
The Shark Mentor Physical Adept.
Mm-hmm.
You park about 100 meters beyond this place, and you release the fly spy, and you start flying over. Where are you heading?
So we're gonna head towards where we saw that RCC and the silent device.
It was somewhere within 100 meters as you were driving through.
Yep, and we know approximately when we were there, right? Like we have like a 400 square meter area where that could be.
Yeah.
Or 400 meter radius of where that could be.
Yeah.
So Razzle,
No, go ahead.
So Razzle's gonna take the fly spy over there. Fish, did you say you put a radio signal scanner in here?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then I'll tell Poppy to use the sensors, while Razzle flies it around, acting like a little bug.
All right, I'll do that.
And Mr. GM, am I correct in assuming that noise will apply to this, to the EWAR check?
Yes.
Poppy asks if you're pretty keen with your eyes. You know, I could maybe assist you if you've got good peepers, or.
But I can only really do that for the camera.
Oh, okay. Well, here we go. Electronic warfare.
Remember that at 3 noise, though, we have any noise comp from your deck and from your data jack, and if you have antenna.
Yeah.
It's 3 with all that.
Must be nice having noise reduction.
Yeah, I have no noise because of that. 5 hits. I got signal scrub and the data jack.
So do we, as we're flying around, do we see any bulldogs? So that's my first thing.
Yeah. So as you start flying around, do you want to go into any of these buildings?
Not on the initial search of the area. We're gonna avoid entering buildings, see what we can see from the outside, just to minimize the risk of exposure.
From the outside, as you're flying around, you can tell that the territory that the crazy eyes have, which are 2 buildings, an office building and the apartment building,
Mhm.
seem like the most defensive, but they're across from each other, and you can tell that one of the balconies on the apartment building, somebody's taken the time to bring up a bunch of rubble and make like a sandbag sort of encampment. As you're flying overhead, you can see that there's like a little slot where somebody would put a machine gun in it. There's no machine gun currently in it, but it has like the tripod base already there, right?
Mhm.
The roof on both of them has solar panels and various kind of generators. You see big rain collectors that are giant, like basically buckets. Only they're set up so that the water will filter down through sand and charcoal and other stuff to kind of roughly get out some of the impurities. You can tell. Give me what was your e-warfare fish?
Got 5 hits, but I'm also going to ask something through the signal scanner. Was there a coffee machine of any good quality running wireless? Because this guy loves coffee.
Nothing that you see. In fact, when your radio scanner looks, it does not see. It sees fewer icons than either of you guys did.
Oh, okay.
It's too far. Yeah.
And Mr. GM
No,
with
it's
the
because it's slave. They got things slaved to it, right? It didn't defeat its slaving.
were the rain collectors, generators, or solar powers wireless enabled?
But the solar panels, yes. That way they could use data to shift with the sun and turn on and off based upon weather data, right?
But the rain collector and the distribution system and the generators are all wireless dead as far as we can tell?
Yes, as far as you can tell.
Perfect.
You do see a soy processor in there that's wirelessly on.
Okay. Um,
And as you're flying around, you do see some like laser sights or holographs, like laser, like the red dot sights that are wirelessly on.
all right, but we don't have visual confirmation that this is the place, right? We don't see any of the people.
You haven't seen the troll or the orc.
Okay. I'm gonna tell the team. I might do a trace icon on that deck. That might be something we might do just to confirm where it is exactly.
Okay, yeah, let's do that, and then once we have a location, let's crawl the fly spy in and have a look around, see if we can't find those guys.
All right, because we could be spending a while here. We're just gonna have to bite the bullet to get a trace icon on the most important piece of tech out here.
Yep. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna land the fly spy. Can I tell it to go wireless off and then come back in 5 minutes?
Sure. Give me another sneaking text to land it discreetly.
Okay. So 4 hits on that.
So you landed on one of the buildings, and then it goes off. All right, what's next?
Okay. Poppy's got the comm code for the deck, and she's gonna share that with Ranger, who probably has it already too. And I'm gonna pop in that thing, and I'm going to do a trace icon on it. So I'm gonna have to hack it. So Poppy does like some really cool poses and stuff, and her AR goes crazy, and then she goes in the hot sim, and she just lifelessly falls over, like in a really awkward, uncool position. And she's gonna.
Catch the silly Decker so she doesn't break her damn neck.
Well, we're sitting in a car, right? So it's fine.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna be doing this, running silently, obviously. And I'm gonna try to get a mark on this deck.
Are you sure you want to trace it and not just something else?
Like, what'd you have in mind?
Shoot it? I mean, fine, I'll help. Jeez, just
Shoot it. You gotta know where it is. We don't want him to know where we are, though. That's the thing. So watch your step in there.
And then Ranger will go into VR as well, but because he's a dirty techno, he doesn't actually fall over. He just goes into that light trance. And oh god, code block hurts. But I will try to assist on the trace.
Okay.
He
well,
will
I'm
need
gonna.
to get a mark first.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Can you
right.
insist on marks?
No, you will both have to have marks on the thing to assist each other.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try and get in on this thing first. So I am gonna do my hackins. I'm in hot sim, running silent, so that gives me a plus minus nothing. Okay, I don't have an agent yet. Oh, that sucks. I'm gonna have to edge that.
Tasty, tasty edge.
Yeah.
More edge for the edge gods.
Do you run baby monitor?
Oh yeah. Program carrier.
Edge for the edge throne.
Oh, showing you how a pro does it. What? Don't gotta
Ooh.
spend no edge. What?
Can you even run trace icon?
Not very well.
Poppy, you get no questions.
Did I
And
get a
now-
mark?
You do get a mark. What is your mark, by the way?
My mark is gonna be music notes with little speakers attached to them.
All right, they start dancing around this icon.
Okay, and I'm gonna go for my second mark because I need 2 marks to do a trace icon.
The icon appears to be like a Tyrannosaurus with this kind of iridescent blue skin. Only it doesn't have the like weak little twig arms. It has these big buff, Tyrannosaurus king arms.
Like
And it has
cyber
a-
arms.
Yeah, similar to that actually. They do look kind of metallic, and it has a crown, like an actual crown on it.
Oh boy. Let's
Net
do that
Ranger.
hacking.
You also get a
Go
mark,
ahead.
All right.
and you have a question.
Well, Netranger's mark because he's really feeling his robot roots because that's what he thinks he's supposed to be. His mark right now it's an actual net, but what would normally be like woven cord that forms up the body of the net, it's actually little tiny mechanical robots like almost like the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz, and they're all little tiny guys and they're all holding hands. And it's like the net's woven out of them, just holding on to each other, like feet holding on to heads and hands holding on to each other. And it looks like a tiny little net just got thrown and is just over one of the toes of this dinosaur icon.
That's hilarious. You have a question if you want to ask.
Oh, what is the last action performed?
Send a message.
Okay. I'm gonna throw that second hack.
And while he's typing that, Lunok, you might know this. Our blah, blah, Technomancer bullshit, our complex forms, are those affected by noise?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, your dice pool is affected. Or if you're sustaining one and you go into noise, it's the same. It's the same as spells.
Perfect. All right. It's been so long since I played this guy. I want to make sure I'm not, gimping my dice pools without a good reason.
Poppy, you get a second mark,
All
and
right.
you have a question this time.
Okay. What's the firewall?
5.
All right. That's not bad. Okay, so I'm gonna do the trace icon on this thing, which is a legal data processing action. Hooray!
Do you want to wait for net?
Well, that is 1 Overwatch reduced from Poppy's deck.
That's hilarious.
He's helping. He's helping.
Noise hurts, okay?
Let's trace this thing.
Oh my god. Trace assist gets you 4 hits.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were assisting that. I already rolled trace though.
No,
Sorry, buddy.
Never mind.
All right, you can confirm that this particular device is currently in the apartment building on the 2nd floor in the northwest section of the apartment.
All right, and I'm gonna perceive inside the device itself. Is there anything slated to this device? If so, what?
No.
Okay. what is? And this one's the one that had the attack rating, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, what programs are loaded?
None.
None. Interesting. What do I see for files?
Have we confirmed this is a cyber deck, or do we know yet?
Well, it's got an attack and it's got a firewall. So
Does it have a sleeve as well?
Yes, it does.
But
it's
it
gotta
can't be
something.
accompanied with a dongle. Because
It has no files.
It has no files.
It has no files.
God, it was honeypot the whole time.
Yeah, I'm thinking that this is something that's designed to get our attention. Does it have any cameras or any kind of sound equipment attached to it?
No.
So it's basically it's hollowed out in here, huh?
It is a matrix icon. I mean, it's a persona as well.
So does
All right.
somebody jump into it?
Yes, it is active right now.
We know where it is. We can send the drone over there.
So there's somebody in it at the moment. I'm going to ask questions about the persona. Does the persona have its own sleaze rating?
Yes, it is currently 11.
The persona itself?
Well, it's,
Like I'm trying to figure out if it's a technomancer, is basically what I'm...
you can't from like looking at a persona, right? Because when you're merged with your deck, your persona and your deck are the same.
Okay. Does
Ask what its
persona
DR is.
have... Yeah, I'm going to get to that. But does it have its own com code, this persona?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And what is the DR of this deck?
5.
That's a high DR. Oh, shit. I'm not
Yeah,
in a
that's-
deck. I am in a techno.
So I am going to take this chance. When we hit the next complex action, let me know, Mr. GM, because I am going to use a complex form.
I'll let him do this.
And because
And,
this
and
feels
I-
important, I am going to edge.
Also, I'm going to roll some matrix security knowledge.
All right, so that caps out at 4 hits. I'm using FAQ from Data Trails, which gives me some specific information about the data and history of the device at which I am targeting.
What page is that on?
58? Yeah, 58 of Data Trails. Now, there's no chart actually given. It's basically all GM fiat, but the one thing it describes is at 6 hits, that's truly obscure or long forgotten bytes of information.
Oh boy, Rick, I sure hope kill code tells us how this works.
I don't mind if some things are a little bit vague because it turns into a storytelling tool, but some things kind of need a table. I mean, it's like, should we just use like the detection spell table? Like, is that a fair comparison or what? Like, just a little bit of guidance would be nice.
Yeah. Well, you know what they're going to do instead? They're going to give us a new complex form that does the exact same thing, but more defined.
Like MMRI and the other one, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this device has existed for less than 12 hours.
It means he fell asleep.
A majority of the actions that it's taken are send message or matrix perception.
Matrix security. Can I determine if this is a deck or a techno?
It's very difficult to tell.
How about as a technomancer with a knowledge skill of technomancers, can I roll something to tell if it's one of my own people?
Sure.
I think that's on 250. There's resonance signatures and stuff.
That is a fair point. You would be aware of that, Net Ranger.
Oh my.
As a technomancer, you can see the resonance, and you can see resonance on other things. But regular deckers cannot see the resonance on things. So to identify a techno from a persona requires extended observation. And usually the sure way to know is you see them do something that is quote unquote impossible.
So would I just have an assumption that it's a techno, or do I just know deep down inside in my IO ports that it's another one of us?
Give me a matrix perception.
With any modifiers?
Nope.
4 hits, sir.
This thing is surrounded by the resonance. There's currently resonance on it right now.
Totally not infusion of matrix attribute. Never ever. You might want to be real careful with what we're looking at,
Yep.
I-
I figured it out.
I think it's one of those, freaks that should be tested on. Yeah, one of them.
It looks like one of those game cheats. One of the people who are a player, but they're not playing with the right equipment. They're using some kind of game code or game cheat to get an advantage in the Matrix.
Yeah, like somebody hacked a patch and installed it before the main patch rollout happened. Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, okay. So, but we know exactly where they are, and I think what I'm gonna do now is I think I'm basically gonna get out of this guy for now.
Are we doing phrasing?
Yeah, phrasing? You still doing phrasing?
We're gonna log out and reboot my my deck.
I will
Alright.
follow the wordsmith and withdraw my mind from the Matrix and all that entails.
Okay, so when the fly spike comes back online, we're gonna slave it back up to the deck and I guess rewrapper it.
That'd be the idea.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't worry, I'm really good at PvP. So like when things go down, I'm just gonna like go in there and we're gonna disconnect this player from the server. And they may respawn someday, we don't know. But for some reason, a lot of times when these players get disconnected like that, they don't seem to come back to the server. So maybe they get booted. I don't know what goes on.
Puppy Poop Hippo, I think it's that they're rage quitting.
It could be. Yeah, some people they can't handle the game, right?
Okay, so guys, I don't want to scare any of you away, but what we're dealing with here, this is the equivalent of a cheater.
Well, they don't even have any programs. How hard can it be?
What if their cheats let them use programs that aren't loaded, like magic?
But here's my question. Can their program stop bullets?
There you go. That's the important question.
Well, this one, as far as we know, is running 2 programs. That being Big Damn Troll and Chromed Out Orc that may be able to stop bullets.
I'll give you a hint. They're fucking nerds.
Well, at least they're not slaving anything to it. I mean, the cheater doesn't apparently have the equipment or ability to slave anything to themselves. So, but we seen a drone earlier, right, GM? Can I locate that drone again on the Matrix?
You saw it physically. You didn't see it
Yep.
on the Matrix.
All right, I'm gonna try that Matrix perception for it. This time, taking my drugs into account. 5 hits on Matrix perception.
There are a number of icons on the Matrix around you, but you don't see any drones.
Interesting. They have a silent RCC.
Crossfade, I have questions for you in text.
Is it possible for me to do this again and try really hard, GM? Or are we pushing it?
No, you may. You can try again at a -2. Do you have common sense?
Yeah, right.
Okay, sorry, never mind. You have questions you may ask.
I do?
Yes.
Okay, but I didn't see any drones.
Nothing that was displayed as a drone.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They may be wrappered, right? Do I see? I can't tell how far away a signal is, can I?
No, you can only
What's the
do a
highest-
matrix perception within 100 meters of yourself.
Yeah, what's the highest device rating? Other than our techno, what's the highest device rating?
Within 100 meters of you, 3.
Okay, well, we're not narrowing this down very well. How many devices were there at 3?
Just 1.
Okay.
Can we
What's
do
its
a
firewall?
can we do a targeted matrix perception on that particular icon?
Yeah, that's
Yes,
what
you may.
I'm about ready. I'm asking what its firewall is because I still have a few questions. I'll do my matrix perception to get questions on it. GM's looking something up.
Quick, while he's not looking, draw more edge.
GM's looking something up. That's how you know you fucked up.
The firewall is 5.
Okay, I'm gonna do a hack on the fly on this thing. I'm happy at that level of success. Okay, conserve veg.
All right, you have one question.
Is it slave to anything?
Yes.
And do I get a number for what it's slave to? Like a com code.
I don't think so. I think you just know that it's slave to something.
Okay, I can't matrix proceed for that from inside of it.
I believe you'd have to get a mark on it.
Oh, on what it's slave to?
No,
Can
on the device, right?
I do have a mark on the device.
Oh, I thought that was just a matrix perception.
No, mine was the
Nope,
matrix
mine was a hack on the
perception.
fly.
Poppy rolled the hack on the fly. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, Poppy did have a matrix perception with 2 hits, and then I rolled mine at 4 hits, and then Poppy did the hack on the fly at 5 hits, I believe.
Yeah. To see what's going on with this device.
Okay, you do get a mark on it.
Okay. Now
And
can I see it?
you also get a mark on another device.
Okay. What's the DR of this device? I'll throw my matrix perception on the device itself. When it's DR, it's com code.
It is a DR of 4.
Okay.
Its firewall is 5.
All right. And can I tell what kind of device it is?
Yes, you can tell that it's an RCC.
Awesome. All right.
It does have a persona.
Okay. You guys want me to trace icon on this one too, or are we going to assume that they're together?
I mean, if you think you could pull off the trace safely, go for it.
Yeah, I probably can. All right, we'll do another hack on the fly to get a second mark, and I'm going to edge that. We'll see.
You have no questions, but you do get a mark. That was a good
Awesome.
edge.
Yeah.
And Mr.
And
GM,
we'll do
since
our
Poppy
trace icon.
since Poppy has baby monitor going, what is her current OS?
Yeah. And this is a legal action, so if it fails, I don't think that they can see anything, correct?
Yeah, trace is a data processing action.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to have to run that again.
It is currently 7.
Okay. Did I get trace icon, or do I have to roll it again?
No, you got to roll.
All right. Ooh, there we go.
And that is 4 OS reduced.
Yay, teamwork.
Techno BS is the best BS.
So you can tell that this is also on the 2nd floor,
Okay.
but not in the same room.
All right.
Still in the
No.
northwest section.
Okay. So I'm gonna label this one for spiking at some point when it's go time, team. Can I load up fly on the wall and stealth so that they can't see me? Or
Sure,
what
mate.
is it? Did I say it's the right one? Stealth. I think it's smoke and mirrors, isn't it?
Smoke and mirrors, correct.
Yeah. Okay. Smoke and mirrors 5 stealth. I'm gonna do the fly on the wall kind of thing and just sit here.
Well, we temporarily need wrapper.
Okay. So smoke in the mirrors, fly on the wall. Temporarily, we'll use wrapper so that we can get that thing back.
I wanna get visual confirmation that our target is in
Right.
there.
We'll fly on the wall, and smoke and mirrors are probably not going to see me. So I just have 2 marks on it though, and I want to be able to spike it. Right. That's the thing. I don't want to let those marks disappear if I don't have to.